right there. So I'm resizing the paper patterns, and this is the original one over here on the left. And then once we come in with the magic marker, I've sized that paper pattern right there. I redo it, and then I cut it out again, and then I start fitting it into its location. This is cutting it out right here. Now I'm brazing in. Now when we're working this, each section, one of the things about the logistics of this project is the fact that it all had to fit up into my studio on the fourth floor. We had space, our cathedral, on the first floor where we did the actual erecting it there. But we did all the forming and the shaping of the copper patterns up on the fourth floor, and so everything had to be made to fit on my elevator. I don't have a big elevator. So when Ursula made the model, she made the full-scale model in cedar, as you can see. She cut it into sections so we get it up to my studio on the fourth floor. And so when I'm working it, I have the section I'm working, whoever's working it, has a section working beside you, and you're working back and forth. So it's just like we're doing a figure study. But it's Ursula's piece. Now what I'm doing right here is a armature wire. It's a aluminum tin alloy. It's soft to bend, and I can get the contours. So that's what I'm doing right here. Because what I have to build is, so we have our structure tower now made out of steel, but then I have to build these forms out of bronze to receive the copper, because I don't want the dissimilar metals. So I have a kind of a divisional line. I have my structural here, and then once I come out to the copper, I start making frames in bronze. And then, so I have a bronze frame that will attach to the steel structural tower, as you see right here, And so all this right here, this quarter-inch bronze rod, silicon bronze rod, has been bent to the contours of the plastic templates we just showed you. So I use that, and I use the aluminum wire that I'm using to get the contours. This is brazed in, all the plates are brazed in with the silicon bronze, flux bronze. That takes a long time. This is the inside, what you see from the inside, because I have tabs. We had extensions, so we had tabs, so we could bend them back in, clamp them together through braze.
This is how it's held together, and that the bronze rods then are also responsible. They cup over the bronze rods, which then holds on to that central core of the rectangular.
We're trying to hold the Ursula's piece in the most abstract form. It's like on a grid, So I try to hold that grid. I have horizontals that I try to hold that on, I have verticals that I try to keep vertical. What you do within your frames is kind of interpreted. This is where it's going together. This is when we're down at the cathedral starting to assemble. Here's 1 through 4. This is 1 through 3 right here. They're starting to go up. Here you see the structural tower with the copper sections, and of those sections we have 69 sections that attach to the structural tower. Here you see in the Roman Cathedral where we're starting to put it together. This is where we have the plastic sheets laid out, our templates, which we started with, the very first thing. And now that we have our profiles made, and we're laying those out and getting that together.
So this is the top portion of that section, and the white is the bottom portion of that section. And
right.
You have to be aware of that.
So once we get the top and the bottom, then they have to be assembled in a frame. So we got to grab the verticals and do that the same way with my wire, with the wire. So it goes through into the contours, and then you put it in. And then you have to do a lot of measuring, for the drop and everything. Drop plumb lines. A lot of measuring.
You see how complex this gets? And this is all stuff that you can't see, but it's all stuff, obviously, that has to be. And we resolved this and figured this out. I mean, it's Richard, actually, that figured the methodology out. I don't know that anything like this has ever been done anywhere, for good reason.
So as you can see, we need that substructure, to attach the copper to. And that's what's going on right here. Again, I'm putting in the copper piece. I have the model behind me now, and this is where we're assembling right here up in the fourth floor studio.
And we were going at the rate of 5 4x4s a day
Per person.
per person. And obviously, I'm showing you this because the patina, as a result of burning the torch onto the surface, onto the face and onto the inside, including this hazy sort of foggy stuff, is all the result of the torch hitting the bronze. So that all of this, and we'll see later what advantage we took of that, all of this is as a result of the torching. It has no color that we brought to it. It's torching. These ribs are glorious. They're very hard to hold on to. You'll see what we did at the end.
This is tier 13 right here. This is sections where we're getting close. And they're capped, the copper capping, and that's.
This is the capping, it's flat up against, so that the water could roll off into the piece instead of drooping on top of it. As it is, rain will go on top of the water, but this prevents some of that kind of waterfall kind of things that could happen in the crevices. I'm sorry.
But no, that's what's happening now, and what's going on there is we're picking out the flux, because I flux bronze, so that all has to be cleaned out. It's a slow process. I have to pick it, clean it. Is Ursula applying with the cleaner?
Yes, this is Richard, who has a torch in the back of these these sections, these portions of the copper, and this red pulsing circle appears, and I then direct him and tell him, if I want him to go this way, he goes this way, and the redness, keeps going, keeps traveling, depending on where I tell him to do it. And if we're very lucky, what I do is I wait a certain amount of time. See, this is that little section. And then I spray it with cold water, and that shock to the body of that copper makes it do beautiful things like this. And in time, all of this will turn green as in the Statue of Liberty. That's what copper wants to do. That's what it'll do. But I think for a little while, we can have some of this. You can't see this unless you see it in the sun. I'd love to encourage you to see that piece at the Andlinger Center in the sun. And at night is also great because we have beautiful lighting that I just helped put in a week ago. And the lighting also is reflective of some of these surfaces. Now this is freshly patinaed, and the patina again is hardly any chemical. It's all from within what comes out of the body of the copper itself. So, eventually I think it's going to go. I don't know how many people have patina bronze. So I haven't, there's no research on it. So we'll see, but I'm really happy to embrace the copper in whatever form it comes over time.
See, Ursula was trying to capture the reds here. The only way we could get it red like that, like we were getting when we were doing the brazing, which is causing heat, was doing a heat treatment on that, as was described. And that was, she was trying to get her red, and then she went with the other colors.
And
Got a
this
face.
is just a red. This is something that, it's not painted on. The variation is phenomenal. It's not just a red, and the red would come all